It is a great day to be alive, and I am so thankful for God, Jesus Christ, who lives in us. In this video titled, Is This Confirmation That God is Revealing World War III? I'm going to be quickly recapping the new of what God revealed to me in this particular video as it relates to 3 market crash streams dealing with trains and their connections to the market crash, a coming market crash. I think another market crash is definitely on the way. Connecting that to the Great Depression and the market crash of 1929. Specifically from that video, I want to focus on the market crash stream number 2 that had to do with Putin, Baltimore, Ohio train dream, and Putin is what I'm calling this right now. And the emphasis here is on trains and specifically Putin. And so in that video, I stated that I had a question as to why Putin was in this particular dream. The train portion I got, but what I didn't understand was why was Putin in this Baltimore, Ohio dream. I shared, starting with the focus on Baltimore, Ohio, the connection that I found just this year, actually like 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And what connected Putin in this Baltimore, Ohio dream, I found by doing research, looking for what I know now as Russia, Ohio, which is a small town that is about 2 hours away from Baltimore, Ohio. To make an even bigger connection, this small town has a flag, and its flag looks very similar to Russia's flag. So now let's look at the how is he connected to the market crash. And I want to start by looking at the symbolic connection, because we have now discovered that there is a Russia, Ohio, connecting it to Baltimore, Ohio. Is this symbolic of Russia, Moscow, possibly being on U.S. soil, something that is war-related? Is this symbolic connection a foreshadowing of what's to come? He's connected to the market crash or a market crash simply because he was in this particular dream that had to do with a train, and later on through research connecting it to the Great Depression and the market crash of 1929. I feel that this is symbolic of what will happen to the U.S. markets, what will happen to the markets as a whole if something like this was to occur. Again, Russia being present on the U.S. soil, something that is war related. If that was to happen, then we will see what people saw during the Great Depression of 1929 and what happened during 1929 when the market crash took place. I truly believe that God timing is perfect, and the fact that he's giving me this revelation now as it connects Putin to a market crash, it gives me the thought, it brings the thought to mind that another market crash is looming. To hear more details about this Baltimore, Ohio dream and all of this connection in great detail as it relates to Putin and what God has revealed just recently, you will have to check out this video. Again, it's titled The New Revealed Within the Old. In this same video, I shared this new dream that I had that I titled Warning, a War is Coming. And I shared what I felt God was speaking to me in that dream, and also seeing what could have been World War III, or was it simply World War II? With that in mind, I shared some articles in that same video that could possibly be hinting that a World War III may be on our heels. Putting it all together, including the idea that it's possible that another market crash is coming. Is this following information that I'm about to share, is this confirmation for all of this? That God has spoken something about World War III, that God has spoken that a market crash is coming, and the effects would be detrimental as it was back during the time of 1929. And will the cause of this be due to something that Russia may do on our soil? Keeping in mind that I shared that all 3 market crash dreams had to do with a train, either an actual train or something that was symbolic of a train. And in the end, the conclusion had to do with a market crash. With this, I'm going to chug along to what I feel is possibly confirmation for all of this. I saw just this morning this news article dated for June the 1st titled Russian Railway Bridges Collapse in 2 Regions Bordering Ukraine. And what stood out to me was Russian railways collapse. This article goes on to say how a train derailed in Russia overnight due to a collapse of a bridge. When I saw the word derailed, I was reminded of the first market crash dream that I had with it being symbolic, where I saw the arrow moving like a train with sparks shooting off of it, wobbling as if it was about to derail. That arrow was symbolic of a train to me. And so here we have the first account of a train derailing overnight. And in that same article, it went on to say that there was a second railway bridge collapse overnight, and the train also derailed. So 2 derailing trains in Russia within one night. Putting it all together, is this article, along with what I feel God has shown me, is it a foreshadowing of a derailing or collapsing or a crash that is coming to the markets? And also, is it confirming something about World War III? That portion I'm still praying about, because nobody wants to deal with a war. Nobody wants to have to go through a war. It's hard enough watching it from a distance and hearing about those who are suffering, those who are going through. So as a body of Christ coming together, praying against these things and praying for change in leadership and those who are making all of the calls, praying that they have a change of heart, understanding that in all things God's will be done, but we are making our requests known. Could it come down to the wire where something is said about World War III that's going to cause the markets to derail, and therefore we see that collapse? Or will it actually take place? Also, let's please pray for all those individuals who are involved and their families. In this article, I think they mentioned that 66 people were involved in this, and that this particular train, or both trains, I think, I know for a fact one of them was a passenger train. Now, from here, I want to look at the derived dates. I gave the first set in the Tupac video that you see below. And the second set will come from this particular video, or the original to this one, titled The New Revealed Within the Old. In that video, I shared in details the dream about a war is coming that I felt had to do with Ukraine and Russia. And also just the details, more details about the new revelation that God gave me about Baltimore, Ohio, and Putin. And much of that I've shared in this video already. But to understand the why behind these dates, check out those 2 videos. Because after doing my research about Russia, Ohio, comparing it to Russia, Moscow, the flags stood out to me because the flags were very similar. I decided to derive dates based off those flags and their colors. After doing so, I derived the date of August the 12th. Moving over to the dream, a war is coming. Because the colors on the doors stood out to me, the yellow and blue on both sides, I took my dates from those colors, and putting 80 days together from the time that I had that dream, I derived the date of July the 13th. And the same with the August 12th date. I added those 380 days to the day that I had that dream about Baltimore, Ohio, July 28th. And I added those 380 days and got August the 12th. So basically just adding those days to the date that I had the dream. And here are those dates again. To piggyback on red, white, and blue, the new Tupac backwards flag dream, I also added together the red, white, and blue from the backwards flag, which was also 380 days. And I added that 380 to the date that I had that dream. And I derived the date of July 13th as well. So again, here are those 2 videos if you want to go back and listen to everything in details, how those dates were derived. And then if you have not seen it already, a newly released video titled Tupac Ethereum and the Diddy trial. In that video, I also shared these new derived dates, but I also went into what actually happened on the dates that have passed already. So please check that out. if you have not already. My goal in that video was to try to show the connection between XRP, Ethereum, and another coin. And not just connecting the coin, but also connecting the events of what we know about each of these coins, or what I feel like I know about each of these coins based on the dream that God gave me about XRP taking off in a short period of time, which I had last year, and also the confirmation of what God has shown us about Ethereum and the coming Ethereum flash crash. Well, that is all that I have for this video. Until the next one, God bless.